Welcome to the deep dive. Today we're jumping into a really fascinating story, one that definitely challenges how we think about identity, about success, and maybe even karma itself.
We're looking at a very specific case study today, drawn from an audio recording called Woman in a Man's Body.
Yeah, it follows this one person's incredible journey, from feeling deeply confused early on, all the way to finding some profound spiritual understanding and change.
And our goal really is to kind of unpack all the pieces.
Yeah.
How does their inner sense of self connect with their outer success, their relationship difficulties?
And what do the karmic explanations offered in the source actually tell us about all that? It feels like the kind of story that has lessons reaching way beyond just one life.
Definitely.
Okay, so let's get into it. The person at the center of this was born biologically male, but felt deep down female.
Imagine that feeling, that constant dissonance, like being out of step with your own body.
Right, an incompleteness is how they described it, even though they grew up in what sounds like a really good family environment.
They mentioned feeling, warm and happy around male friends, almost like a young woman with a boyfriend she cared about.
But having to hide those feelings completely?
Yeah. And what's really interesting is that even with all that internal turmoil, they were always trying to figure out why. Why did they feel this way? But couldn't find the answer themselves. But that strong family background seems crucial. The parents followed moral precepts, instilled good values.
Took the kids to the temple, made daily offerings, that sort of thing.
Exactly, consistently, without fail, according to the source.
And you can see how that foundation might have acted as like an anchor, right? Channeling that inner struggle into something constructive, not destructive.
They even had the thought, I need to use this thing I see as a flaw, as a creative force.
And they really did. I mean, their achievements were quite something.
Oh, absolutely. Exceptionally successful from a young age.
Yeah.
A talented student leader, won awards, got recognition from everyone, peers, teachers.
Raised money for the school fence, started activities.
Yep. And even after graduating, kept supporting school, raised funds for a new library, got an alumni award, just really driven.
And that drive didn't stop at school, did it? It carried right over into the business world.
Very much so. High self-confidence, launched several businesses at once, a beauty salon, tour company, direct sales.
Making good money, too.
Substantial amounts.
Mm.
But then, lack of management experience caught up.
Leading to that huge financial hit.
Yeah, a massive setback,
But-
$2 million bad in debt.
Wow. But crucially, they didn't just collapse under that.
No, and that's key. They saw it as a lesson. Rebuilt, transformed the businesses.
And drew on that sense of responsibility, that belief in merit making.
Exactly, a deep belief in doing good deeds. It gave them this inner strength, this confidence, the source suggests.
Which allowed them not just to recover, but to hit even greater heights, especially in real estate.
International recognition even. It's quite the turnaround.
It really is. And that spiritual side you mentioned earlier, that seems woven through everything.
Deeply. From childhood, feeling this connection to temples, finding peace just by walking in, even before hearing any Dhamma teachings.
Dhamma being the Buddhist teachings, for anyone less familiar.
Right. And they became very devoted to one specific place, Wat Phra Dhammakaya, for over 10 years.
This devotion and the repeated relationship heartbreaks eventually led to a pretty major life change, didn't it?
It did. They decided to undergo full gender reassignment surgery.
And around the same time, they encouraged their current partner to connect with the temple, too.
Yes, and eventually to actually ordain as a monk. This was something our subject deeply wished they could do themselves, but felt they couldn't because of their inner identity.
So supporting others' ordinations became their way of contributing, like being good provisions for the faith.
Precisely. That's how they framed it.
So bringing it back to the core issues, how does the source start to explain the karmic roots of this, especially the identity mismatch and the relationship problems?
Okay, so this is where it gets really specific. The source links that profound feeling, being born in a male body but feeling female, directly to past karma.
Specifically.
Specifically, a strong karmic pattern of promiscuity gathered over many lives, both as a man and particularly when they lived as a woman in past existences.
And that same pattern is behind the repeated heartbreak in relationships.
That's what the source indicates, yes. The two are deeply intertwined karmically.
But then, why the supportive family? If there were these challenging karmic debts, why be born into such a positive merit-making environment?
That's a really good question. The explanation given is their past aspirations.
Aspirations.
Yeah. Every time they performed acts of merit in past lives, They consistently made a wish, an intention, to be reborn into a family with right understanding.
A Samadithi family is the term.
Correct. That strong, repeated intention, combined with their past charitable acts and public service, is also what led to their early success and fame in this life.
So intention really matters.
Hugely powerful, according to this perspective.
Okay, what about the bankruptcy then? That big financial crash. How does that fit into the karmic explanation?
Right. This part is fascinating because it shows how subtle karma can be. It wasn't just about bad luck.
So what was the past action linked to it?
In a past life, again as a woman, they donated funds to build a hall at a temple. Part of the deal was their name would be engraved.
Okay.
But it wasn't. The name wasn't put up. And they got quite irritated, apparently even demanded the money back from the temple trustee.
Wow, really?
Yeah. But, the source says, being fundamentally charitable, they felt better later and redonated the money, this time just purely for the merit, without expectation.
Ah, okay, so the initial irritation and demanding the money back.
That caused the temporary business failure in this life.
But the underlying good intention and the later pure retination.
That ensured the recovery. And not just recovery, but even greater success afterward. It's presented as a lesson in how sustained, pure intention overcomes momentary negative reactions.
That's quite a detailed connection. Now, the parents, you mentioned the supportive family. There was a big age gap, wasn't there? 30 years.
Yes, 30 years. But both were very charitable people.
Was there a specific karmic reason given for that age difference?
Interestingly, no. The source says there wasn't a specific karmic debt related to the age gap itself.
Oh, so why the gap then?
It was simply the result of them having made merit together in previous lives and having a strong wish to be together again. They just happened to find each other later in life this time around.
And despite the age difference, they had a strong bond and lived happily.
That's the picture painted, yes.
The source also touches on some difficult family karma, doesn't it? Particularly with the mother.
It does. In her past, she apparently worked killing chickens for about a year, even though she felt terrible guilt about it.
And in this life, she experiences, what was it? Mental lapses?
Mental lapses, yes, and sometimes even makes chicken sounds, quite strikingly.
And the karma behind that?
Attributed to two things. Firstly, some kind of untruthfulness or deception in her past business dealings. And secondly, the direct karma from killing the chickens.
Is there hope for her, according to the source?
Yes, definitely. The merit that she and her child, our main subject, are making now is said to be actively helping her, alleviating the symptoms.
So the lesson there...
Well, it touches on how sometimes people might pray for wealth, but not be careful about how they get it, leading to unwholesome actions.
Right.
To counteract it, the advice given is for her to keep making merit, dedicated specifically to the chicken she harmed, and strictly observe the 5 precepts' basic ethics, like not killing, stealing, lying, etc.
A clear path. Then there's the youngest brother. His suicide at 18, that's just tragic.
It really is. And sadly, the source explains this as a recurring pattern for him.
A pattern.
Yes, a strong habit developed over many past lives of ending his own life because of relationship heartbreak. That's why it repeated this time.
And where is he now, according to this?
Currently, in what's called the Yamaloka realm. It's a lower spiritual plane associated with judgment and karmic consequences. He's said to be reliving the suicide repeatedly.
Compelled by.
Both by beings there, karmic officers, and by his own residual powerful desire from the moment of death, fueled by the heartbreak.
Is there anything that can be done?
To free him requires a very significant act of merit, dedicated specifically to him. The source mentions something like contributing to a major sacred structure, like the Buddha jewel stupa, which is believed to generate immense positive energy.
And without that.
He faces a very long time suffering there. This is a sobering picture.
Absolutely. These family threads are incredibly complex. Let's circle back to our central figure now. What about their connection to the wider spiritual community, the Sangha, the monks?
Okay, so the source traces this back quite far, to a previous cosmic era, an eon, during the time of a past Buddha named Ananda.
Okay.
In that era, our subject was a woman who committed adultery, breaking the 3rd precept against sexual misconduct.
But didn't fall into lower realms.
No, because she also made vast amounts of merit, including sponsoring ordinations for other people. So that merit protected her.
So instead of falling, she was reborn as
a female Kumhandi, described as a type of powerful, sometimes fearsome, spiritual guardian being.
Wow.
Within the Katumahari heaven, one of the lower celestial realms, with a specific role related to karmic retribution for beings in hell.
Wow. And then in later lives?
Continued to be reborn as a woman, often repeating the violation of the third precept, but also always accumulating merit alongside it. That merit consistently kept her out of the hell realms.
And her current partner fits into this how?
Met in this current eon. He was apparently one of her many lovers in a
Oh,
past life during this eon, and they both made a wish to meet again.
goodness. It really does show how actions can ripple across immense stretches of time. So many interwoven threads.
It's incredibly complex, yes. And just to add another layer, regarding the parents and the partner, the source suggests they didn't encounter this specific Sangha group, the one associated with Watfro Dhammakaya, in the most recent eon. So they didn't build merit with this group then.
But they had connections from even further back.
Exactly. They had made merit with the Sangha in much older eons. It just highlights how these connections can span vast time periods and different spiritual lineages.
This whole deep dive, it really underscores the sheer weight of accumulated karma, doesn't it? Both the good stuff and the not so good stuff across so many lifetimes.
Absolutely. It paints a picture where our intentional actions, whether it's making merit, supporting the Sangha, or, on the other hand, things like promiscuity or causing harm, they all seem to intricately weave the fabric of who we are, our relationships, our circumstances.
Yeah, it seems like the thread running through it all, though, is that even with these really ingrained karmic patterns, making a conscious effort, having the right intention, that can actually change the trajectory.
I think that's a key takeaway. Our subject's journey, from that deep internal struggle to finding spiritual transformation, it strongly suggests that even with difficult karmic baggage, consistent effort-making merit, self-restraint, keeping that right intention front and center, it can help overcome obstacles.
And shape the future you want, maybe even across different lives.
That seems to be the implication, yes.
So as we kind of wrap this up, maybe something for you, the listener, to think about is this. How might your own actions, your intentions right now, today, be silently weaving the fabric of your future?
Yeah, what deeper understanding of self or maybe even fate could emerge if we really consider that profound link between our past, our present, and what's yet to come? A powerful thought to carry with you.